Hello, my friends. Welcome to Project Unchained. Today, let's talk about peace and cultivating peace, specifically inner peace. We hear a lot of times from different places and different ideologies and philosophies that peace is within you. And that's true. Peace is a state of being, and a state of being is always within us. That's part of the point. So peace is within us. And it's a matter of cultivating that and connecting with that we can actually be into and drop into that state of feeling and experiencing being at peace. What does being at peace really mean? And to help me conceptualize that, a lot of times I look at what the opposite is, because for many years of my life I spent in the opposite state of being. I very much did not have any inner peace. And the way I look at that and can describe that is it's inner turmoil. I was very familiar with what inner turmoil was experienced like. For me, that inner turmoil comes in a couple of different ways. One of which can be worrying about future events. When I would worry about future events, it would often be linked to what the outcome is going to be of the future events. A lot of times, a quick and easy way to navigate that is we can't necessarily predict what the outcome is. So we have to be willing to be open to the experience, whatever the experience may be, whether it be positive or negative. We need to be open to the plethora and ranges of experiences that we can have, both positive and negative. They just are. When I pull away from trying to force that outcome or have that expectation, that's a lot of times when I can calm that worry. The bigger one that caused me a lot of mental turmoil is the negative conversations I would have with myself. Not just about future events, but especially with people. I was so talented at arguing with other people in my head, it was kind of scary. It's kind of scary for me to admit that right now, that that's something that I did, but I did it frequently. I would have argument conversations with really anybody in my life, any friend, any boss, anybody. I would constantly have these arguments with other people in my head, in this self-talk, and I would play out these scenarios and envision the interactions happening. I was creating that. I created that inner turmoil. If we think back to the common denominator video we made a couple of weeks ago, check that out if you haven't. Link up here. At the end of the day, all of our experiences, all of my experiences have one thing in common: me. All of your experiences have one thing in common: you. We are the common denominator to all of our experience. So no matter what, good, bad, indifferent, positive, negative, right, wrong, we are involved in every one of those experiences. So at a very minimum, we are a co-contributor to every one of those experiences. In this inner turmoil sense, it's inside. Nobody's doing that to me. Nobody's bringing that to me but me. I am responsible for that. I am creating that within me. I am creating all of that inner turmoil, and it creates unnecessary suffering. It does nothing for me. All that does is cause anguish, suffering, negativity, just a whole lot of things that pull me down. And when it pulls you down, you participate in life's unfolding from that state of being. That's contributing to the quality of the experiences that you do have. And I came to this realization that I needed to shift that conversation. And that's the challenge today. That's how we get away from that inner turmoil to a state of peace. We have to learn to change that conversation. How do we do that? Well, first we have to be aware that we're doing that to ourselves in the first place. We have to take that responsibility of, hey, I'm creating this conversation in my head. Why am I doing this? What's going on? Because when we acknowledge that we're the ones creating that conversation, we can start to break it down into a different level, into a different area. We can understand what's going on with this conversation. Why am I creating it? What need of mine is going unmet that I'm having this conversation? What is true about this conversation in my head? Is there anything that's really true? Or am I just making up stories and filling in things because I want to beat myself up? Because my victimhood mentality is wanting to play and come forward. That doesn't help me create quality experiences in my life. And now that I know that and understand that, that's when I can create that shift in that conversation. What's true? What's not true? What needs of mine are not being met? And I can shift that conversation. And lastly, one of the most important ideas behind this is that whatever it is, we have to have the conversation with the correct person. We, ourselves, is never the correct person to have that conversation with. So if this inner turmoil is being riled up because we're having this fake, fictitious argument with somebody else, or we're creating up these stories that are not true and they don't exist, we have to take the step forward and have enough courage to have the conversation with that person. Because that's the only way that we're going to be able to clear up the difference between truth and reality. The difference between reality and truth from what we're making up and what is not true. And it's there in that place that we can connect with that other person. We can connect with the truth. We can connect with reality. We can get rid of the lies and the stories. And then we can move forward from that place. And for me, what that does is it shifts me from that inner turmoil to that state of inner peace. There's a good deal of peace in that truth. There's a good deal of peace in having the conversation with that right person, because it can be productive. It creates resolution with that person, or resolution with whatever it is that's going on inside. Whatever reason that conversation, that negative conversation, is on loop and replay in your mind, we can create resolution to it. And that shuts it off. That makes it go away. And that can create so much inner peace. And as you get more and more skilled at creating that shift, we can get more and more skilled at not creating that inner turmoil. And that is such a powerful place to be, because when we're in that state of being, it is that state of being that really helps resonate and bring forward those experiences in our life. If we're being positive, if we're being peaceful, we cultivate and create that in the experiences in our life in real time. So I challenge you to tap into that. Start to create that shift. Get away from that negative conversation. Get away from that inner turmoil. Shift it towards the truth, connecting with and having the conversation with the right person. And you'll be able to cultivate and create peace in your life, inner peace, and be in that state of being. I hope that really helps you create that state of peace. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I look forward to chatting with you all again soon. Let's get unchained.